It's surprising to hear that Apple might bring a feature to the iPhone 17 Pro that Samsung phones had way back in 2013. Yes, it sounds strange, but that's exactly what some new leaks are suggesting. Apple seems to be planning a feature that Android phones, especially Samsung ones, have had for over 10 years. It's now 2025, and we're seeing Apple revisit ideas from more than a decade ago. The iPhone 17 Pro is expected to come with several camera improvements. There's talk of a 48-megapixel main camera, a new periscope lens that allows up to 8x optical zoom, and even a special Pro camera app designed for vloggers. Apple might also add a new button dedicated to controlling the camera. All of this sounds exciting on the surface, but if you look a little closer, you'll notice that Android phones have already offered most of these features for years. One of the most talked about features is dual camera video. This lets users record with both the front and rear cameras at the same time. While this may seem fresh to iPhone users, Android phones had something similar way back in 2013. The Samsung Galaxy S4 had a feature called Dual Shot. It allowed you to take pictures or record videos using both cameras at the same time. You could even move the selfie view around on the screen and resize it. For that time, it was pretty advanced. Now here we are, over 10 years later, and Apple seems ready to introduce the same kind of feature for people who've only used iPhones. It might feel new and fun, but Android users who remember the Galaxy S for days might just roll their eyes. It's not really something new, it's just new for iPhones. This isn't the first time Apple has brought older Android features to their phones. Over the years, we've seen Apple add things like widgets, always-on displays, and even split-screen features long after Android had them. And when Apple does finally introduce these features, they often rename them, polish them, and present them as if they were brand new ideas. The same goes for software. Android phone makers have been adding creative features to their camera apps for years. Apple seems to be choosing from those old ideas now, brushing them off, and adding them to the iPhone as if they're something fresh. It's like Apple is going through Android's past and selecting things to bring into the future. Now, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with making useful features available to more people. If dual camera recording makes life easier for vloggers and content creators, that's a good thing, but the issue is how Apple presents it. Instead of saying they're finally adding a long-requested feature, they market it like they've come up with something brand new. That's what annoys tech followers. Even the new periscope zoom Apple is working on feels a little late. Android phones have been using this kind of zoom for years now. Some of them have even moved past it and are focusing on high-resolution zoom powered by AI. Apple's move from 5x to 8x zoom is definitely an improvement, but it doesn't feel groundbreaking. It feels like they're catching up instead of leading. The camera control button is another small change that might help users take photos or videos more comfortably. But again, it's not a huge innovation, it's more of a minor convenience. That will help some users, especially vloggers, but won't make a big difference overall. So what does all this mean? Basically, the iPhone 17 Pro is taking a bunch of ideas that Android phones introduced years ago and adding them now. It might be exciting for iPhone fans who've never had these options before, but people who've been using Android for a long time will see this as old news. And chances are, this trend will continue. We might see more features like reverse wireless charging or more customizable lock screens coming to iPhones in the future years after Android phones have had them. Apple has always been known as a company that leads the way in technology, but lately it feels like they're just borrowing older ideas and giving them a fresh coat of paint. There's nothing wrong with refining a good idea, but when many of your new features are from 2013, it does raise some questions about what's really innovative. In the end, the iPhone 17 Pro will probably still be a great phone. It will have some great tools for creators, better cameras, and helpful features, but if its biggest selling point is something Samsung did more than a decade ago, then calling it Pro might be a bit of a stretch.